if I told you that the entire economy, all of its crazy complexities, could be boiled down to something as simple as a jungle? Well, today that's exactly what we're going to do. We're heading deep into the economic jungle to grab a survival guide that might just change how you see your finances forever. Let's jump. So, right off the bat, our journey begins with this kind of cryptic piece of jungle wisdom. A painted rock? What on earth could that possibly have to do with your money? Well, stick with me, because figuring this one out could be the key to not just surviving out there, but actually thriving. All right, first things first, every jungle has its own rules, right? To get through this one, we're going to need a map, a whole new way of looking at the economic world all around us. And here it is. This is our map. The jungle we're talking about, that's just the economy. And the monkeys you see swinging from the branches, well, that's us. You, me, everybody. The bananas we're all trying to get our hands on, that's real wealth, real assets. And the leaves, that's just the currency, the cash we trade every day. See? When you break it down like that, it's not so complicated after all. Okay, so you're a monkey in the jungle. You've got a few leaves, maybe one single banana. So, how do you turn that into a fortune? Let's get into the first big secret to growing your very own banana plantation. The secret, my friends, is the absolute magic of compounding. And here's how it works in our jungle. You don't eat your first banana. Nope, you plant it. That one little seed grows into a brand new tree, and that tree gives you more bananas. But here's the crucial part. You don't just eat them. You replant all of them. You do that over and over, and pretty soon that one tree becomes a whole thriving plantation. And just look at this chart. It shows you the incredible, explosive power of that one simple idea. I mean, year 1, you've got one tree. It's a start. By year 5, okay, things are looking pretty good. But then look at year 20. Wow, you've got an entire plantation, and it's working for you day and night. It just goes to show you the most important thing isn't how many bananas you start with. It's how much time you give them to grow. That's the real power of patience and just reinvesting what you earn. But, the jungle isn't always sunny and perfect. Sometimes these huge, violent storms roll in, and that's what recessions are. They're just an unavoidable part of life in the economic jungle. So the question isn't if a storm is going to hit, but how you're going to weather it when it does. So here's your jungle weather report. During the good times, the sun's out, banana gathering is easy. But when a storm hits, that's a recession, suddenly bananas are much harder to find. Monkeys start losing their branches, which is our metaphor for losing jobs and income. It's a tough time for everyone in the jungle for sure. Luckily, we're not entirely on our own out there. Watching over the whole jungle are the jungle elders. You can think of them as the central banks of our world. Their main job is to keep an eye on the health of the jungle and when things get really rough, to step in and try to calm the storms. So how do they calm these storms? They use something called monetary policy. I know, it's a fancy term, but really it just means the elders can make it easier or harder for us monkeys to borrow leaves. So when a big storm hits, they might make leaves cheaper to borrow. And what does that do? It encourages monkeys to keep planting trees, even when times are tough. And that helps the whole jungle get back on its feet and start growing again. But storms aren't the only danger lurking in this jungle. Remember that quote we started with? The jungle is also home to predators. Bad monkeys. These guys have zero interest in growing their own bananas. They just want to steal yours. And these scammer monkeys, they have a whole playbook of tricks. They might try to sell you fake bananas, assets that look totally real but are completely worthless. Or they might promise you a spot in this amazing new plantation, take all your leaves, and then just disappear. That's a classic rug pull. And of course, there's the big one, the shiny painted rock, an offer that just seems so good, so easy, that it literally can't be real. Which brings us to a really critical survival question. With all these dangers out there, how in the world do you protect your hard-earned bananas from these predators who are just trying to trick you out of them? All right, here are the absolute fundamentals of banana protection. Rule 1, always use the monkey bank. These are the official protected institutions. Don't just hand your leaves to some random monkey in the jungle. Rule 2, always check for a shady reputation. Seriously, do your research. And finally, the most important rule of all, trust your gut. If it looks like a painted rock, it probably is. Wow, we have covered a ton of ground together, from planting your very first banana tree to surviving storms and learning how to spot predators. So now let's put it all together into one simple survival guide for thriving, not just surviving in this economic jungle. Everything we've learned today really just boils down to these three simple rules. Number one, plant every single banana you can. Let that magic of compounding do the heavy lifting for you. Two, prepare for the storms. You have to accept that recessions are just a natural part of the cycle. And three, never ever trust a painted rock. Stay sharp and protect what's yours. And that's it. That's our guide. You now have the map you need to navigate the economic jungle. Success out there isn't about being the strongest or the loudest monkey. It's about being the smartest. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with your first banana?